Not too shabby. Coffee, that is. This coffee. From the McKenna's. Special coffee from the McKenna's. Okay, so here we are. Good morning. Good morning. Today is Friday, March 29th, 2024. Here we are at Department of Career Services, where our goal is to help you get from where you are to someplace better. That's it. We only look good if you do well. So today is going to be a little bit different than our normal podcast. Today is going to be, let me take that back. Today is going to be different from our normal mandatory podcast for people in our program. We're going to talk about what is the program, because we're now having more and more people coming to us because they want their lives to be better. They're tired of survival mode mentality. They're tired of not having a job, not having their own place, not really having their own stuff. They're tired of being on the rat race and on the rat wheel, running, getting nowhere, going up the down escalator, never able to relax. But tones, okay, that's a comment from Wanabebi. Zhao Shang Hao. Good morning. So they're tired of all that. So they're coming to us thinking, aha, here's a way I can get what I want. I just have to pretend to give them what they want. So the purpose of today is to talk about what is Sharpen the Saw. This is going to be mandatory viewing for all new people, because fundamentally people, and I think they don't even realize it, you don't know what you don't know. Here are successful people, truly successful people, not people that have a lot of money and a lot of stuff, but truly successful people. And here are people in survival mode. To survive in survival mode, you have to behave in a particular way. To be successful in the real world of men and machines, where people are successful, you have to behave in a particular way. And these two ways often conflict. When you're in survival mode, you have to do what you have to do to survive. You do what you do, you say what you do to survive. When you are in the real world of men and machines, of good people, you give and people reciprocate. First you give, then people reciprocate. If people can't trust you, they're not going to help you in the long run. They might give you a handout, but they're not going to give you a hand up. Why? Because all you care about is yourself. And you care about yourself because you've been in survival mode. And so you think niceness is weakness. You can't trust people. And in survival mode, that's true, because it's dog eat dog. It's a zero-sum game. Somebody's going to get it, so it's going to be me or it's going to be you. But in the real world, the world of how you should behave, properly behave, if you help other people will help you. If you give, you will receive. If you sow, you will reap. And so Sharpen the Saw is designed to take people from survival mode mentality to mentality of this is the way you should act. And this is the way you should act equals nurture the kingdom of heaven within, nurture and share the kingdom of heaven within. Just do what Jesus said. And that is a literal statement. Okay, but what does that mean in practical terms? In practical terms, what does that mean? Well, our program our program, a neuroscience approach to success, okay, is delivered in various ways in a book, 300-page book, in a smaller book that goes along with a thumb drive that has the lessons on it, on the internet through Teachable. And the fundamental thing is to answer two questions. Who am I and why do I behave the way I do? And the idea is if you know who you are and you know why you behave the way you do, you can change your behavior to become the person you want to become. It's that simple. And fundamentally, ultimately, it comes down to good habits, replacing bad habits with better habits. Fundamentally, it comes down to that. And that fundamentally, creating good habits basically comes down to creating good routines. And good routines basically comes down to repetition. Repetition. So you're able to do things without thinking about it, so you have time to think about other things, more important things. It's like driving the car, right? Once you know how to drive a car, you're not consciously driving the car, you're non-consciously driving the car, but your brain is always on alert in case something happens. Somebody puts their red lights on in front of you, you respond. You don't have to think about, red lights in car in front of me. I wonder why the guy put his, no, you respond. And then you figure out what to do next. So we are fundamentally here to take you out of survival mode mentality into the mentality that will help you become successful. In order to do that, you need to know who you are and why you behave the way you do from a neuroscience-oriented perspective. So what does that mean? That means how your brain works, how the neurons work in your brain, neurotransmitters, reticular activating system, how those things work, and then how to deal with other people, how to figure out where do you want to go, where do you want to be 3 years from now, and then create habits to help you get there. In our program, and it is a program, it is an all-day, 7-day-per-week program. It's 90 days. It's a 90-day, 7-day-per-week, 24-hour-per-day program. If you are not interested in that, no problem. No problem, but that's the commitment. Do you have free time in that? Yes, but it's scheduled and it's regulated and controlled. Do you have time to go smoke meth? No. Do you have time to go drink? No, you don't have time to do stuff that is not going to help you get from where you are to someplace better. So we have it broken down to 2 simple rules. Always do your best, and if we ask you to do something, just do it. Okay? That's if you want to be in this program. If you don't want to be in this program, if you have a better program, super, great. We need room for that bed. Somebody else wants it. As they say in prison, at camp, if you don't like it here, if you don't like it at camp, if it's too hard, that's okay, because there's 10 people that want your bed. We have no problem freeing you up to pursue what you want. But what we can't do is let you run your program inside of our program, because it's hard enough to do our program. And if we let you do your program, then everybody gets to do their own program. Pretty soon we have no program. It doesn't work. So if you're not committed to leaving your past behind for good, if you're not committed to that, this is not for you. If you're stuck in survival mode mentality of, well, I don't want to be sleeping out on the streets tonight, so I'll say whatever I need to say to get a bed, and then I'll figure out tomorrow. We've been doing this for a long time, and it becomes very apparent who's committed and who's not. And I can promise you, if you trick your way to getting in, because it's easy to trick us, it's not hard to trick us to get in. We're going to give you the benefit of the doubt. But if your trick is to get in, when you're released, when you're freed up to go pursue your program, you're going to have a lot of regret and remorse. You're going to say, I had everything that I needed to move me forward, and I blew it. I had everything I needed, the basic necessities, the medical, the mental health. I had the curriculum. I had training. I had the ability to get employed. I had all of that lined up. All I had to do was what they asked me to do and do my best. And I wouldn't even do that because I thought I was smarter than they were and I could fool them. Please don't be one of those people. Do not become complacent. So that's the other thing is when you don't have a good routine, when you don't do repetition, you start drifting back to what you know. You're either moving forward or you're moving back. So people start, yeah, right. And then we push them and we lay off and we see what they do. Many people start backsliding because they're not really committed. We give them a nudge to go forward. And they become complacent. First it's, yeah, I'm going to keep my room clean. Well, I don't need to make my bed right now. Oh, I got a plate. I can't make my bed right now. I'll wash my sheets tomorrow. They're not really that dirty. I will leave dishes in the sink. Become complacent. And then what happens? Well, you get called out on it. And then your attitude, your fundamental attitude will kick in. So you have a choice to make whether you're going to commit to being here or you're going to say, I don't need this. And you're going to go back to who you were. And then at some point in the future, you're going to wish you were where you were the day you said, I don't need this. So we have a program designed to help you get from where you are to someplace better. We've been doing it for a long time. All we ask you to do is always do your best. And if we ask you to do something, do it. We're not going to ask you to do anything illegal, immoral, unethical, or that you can't do. We will always ask you to do things that you don't think you can do because we're limited by our beliefs. So we're not going to ask you to do something that you can't do, but we will ask you to do things that you think you can't do. Just do it. And remembering I will close with, there's two ways to do things, the right way and again. So this is the Navy SEAL maxim. There's two ways to do things, the right way and again. And once you get through your mind why you behave the way you do, once you understand why you behave the way you do, why you won't do it the right way the first time, and you get, you know what? If I just did it the right way the first time, I would be so much further along in my life. We're not limited by our past. We're limited by our beliefs. Change your beliefs, change your future. Give up the past, forget about it. If you want to be at Sharpen the Saw, that is this program. We're only looking for people who want to move forward. We're not trying to change people who don't want to change. We're not trying to convince you that our program is better than yours. If your program is better than ours, mazel tov, great. We want you to go do your program because there's plenty of people out there that know that they don't have a better plan. They know they don't have a better program and they want to move forward. So if you are committed, then welcome aboard. If you're committed to changing your life, if you're truly committed to doing what it takes to change your life, welcome aboard. Remembering we only have 90 days. Stanford has 4 years to turn people into masters of the universe. We have 90 days. So welcome to those who want to be here. If you don't want to be here, that's okay. If you want to do your own program, that's okay. Just not here. Okay? So that's what this is. This is not an IOP. This is not a mental health. Those are just, IOP is a part of mental health. It's not mental health, and it certainly is not our program. Is it important? Is controlling your substance use disorder important? Yes, it is important. Is it going to help you be successful? Yes. Spending 3 hours a day, 3 days a week, is that going to change your life? Absolutely not. Just to keep things in perspective, this is 24-hour per day, 7-day per week for about 13 weeks. That's it. Okay, so thank you for being there. If you want to be in our program, that's what it is. That's what the expectations are. And that's what we've been doing. We wish you the best. We're here to help you get from where you are to someplace better. And with that, I will say shalom. Cut.